Good morning, class. Okay, let's stand for prayer. Matabaran, can you please lead a prayer? In the name of Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay, before you take your seat, can you please arrange your chairs properly and pick up some pieces of paper? Okay, let's check your attendance. No one is absent. Okay, very good. So before we start our topic, let's have some recap about our topic class meeting. Okay, very good. So before we tackle our topic for today, let's have some activity. You will form a big circle, then you will sing a song entitled Leron Leron Sinta. If ang student na makadawat anin ay musta ang Leron Leron Sinta nga kanta will answer this given activity entitled Jumble Jungle. Okay, very good. You've answered it correctly. So do you have any idea what would be our topic for today? Yes, you answered it correctly. Our topic for today is all about a closer look at the teacher and the teaching profession in the ASEAN and in beyond. So, I have some questions before we tackle our lesson for today. What is ASEAN means? Okay, very good. ASEAN means Association in Southeast Asian Nation. ASEAN have 10 member states. It's the Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos PDR, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Thailand, Singapore, and Vietnam. This lesson will describe the teacher's professional in the ASEAN and beyond. It will also discuss the current situation, circumstances, teaching workplace, qualification, career pathways, benefits, and other factors that influence quality education. This lesson will also focus on the teachers. So let us now look closely at the teaching profession and professional of 10 ASEAN member countries as a whole. So the ASEAN, one vision, one identity, one community. So what does it mean, the three elements of ASEAN? These three elements reflect ASEAN's commitment to regional unity, cooperation, and development, ultimately enhancing the life of its citizens. So, first is all about levels of schooling at a teaching level. In all countries, the ASEAN, the levels of formal schooling in the educational system are follows. First is the primary levels. Primary levels is composed usually of pre-primary, which is play school, pre-K, kindergarten, and the primary level, which is composed of grade 1, age 6, grade 2, age 7, grade 3, age 8, grade 4, age 9, and grade 5, age 10, and grade 6 is 11. So in the Philippines, the label primary levels refers to elementary. The elementary level has two sub-levels, the primary levels, which include kindergarten to grade 4, and the intermediate, which is include grade 5 and grade 6. So, the second one is the secondary level. Secondary levels is follows from primary level. Generally, across the ASEAN, it is composed of junior high school and senior high school. The graduate from senior high school can proceed to college or find a job that appropriate to that qualification. There are slight variation in some countries, such as the lower secondary level. It is 3 years with grade 7, grade 8, and grade 9. While the upper secondary level is composed of grade 10, grade 11, and grade 12. In the Philippines, the junior high school is composed of grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, and grade 10. While in the senior high school composed of grade 11 and grade 12. In summary, Basic education levels in most ASEAN countries have 12 years of formal schooling, divided into primary, lower, secondary, and upper secondary levels. All primary education levels are compulsory, while some countries the secondary level is voluntary except the Philippines. So there's variation in the numbers of years in basic educational level across in the ASEAN members sa katong 10 member states sa ASEAN, which is the Anglo PDR, Myanmar, etc. So first we tackled level of schooling and number of years sa country nga Lao PDR. Sa lower o sa primary or elementary, there's 5 years. Then sa lower secondary, 4 years. Sa upper secondary is 3 years. So total number of 12 years. So sa version 1 sa Myanmar, so same ra Japan siya sa primary elementary is 5 years. Sa lower secondary is 4 years, but sa upper secondary nila is only 2 years. So a total number of years sa ilang school years is 11 years. So sa Malaysia is different sa Myanmar o sa Lao PDR kaya ang ilang primary o elementary is consist of 6 years. Then sa lower secondary is 3 years, upper secondary is 2 years, total of 11 years. So, sa version 4, sa country of Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Thailand, and Vietnam, ang ilang primary elementary is same sa Malaysia, which is consist of 6 years. Then lower secondary is 3 years, upper secondary is 3 years, then total number of years is 12 years. So, sa version 5, which is Singapore and Philippines, primary elementary is same as before sa una nga country is 6 years, lower secondary is 4 years, then upper secondary sa Singapore is 2 years, then ang ilang is pre-university, total numbers of 12 years. So, sa total nila nga kanang number of schooling sa kanang ASEAN, sa 10 member of ASEAN is nadyo sila yung kalahi-lahi. Sa labi na sa katong diri sa kaning secondary level nila, which is kanang compulsory ra. Ang compulsory ra nila is katong lower grade, then inigabot sa kanang secondary level is kanang dili na siya compulsory, unlike diri sa Philippines. So the second one is the secondary level. Secondary levels is follows from primary level. Generally across the ASEAN, it is composed of junior high school and senior high school. The graduate from senior high school can proceed to college or find a job that appropriate to that qualification. There are slight variation in some countries, such as the lower secondary level. It is 3 years with grade 7, grade 8, and grade 9. While the upper secondary level is composed of grade 10, grade 11, and grade 12. In the Philippines, the junior high school is composed of grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, and grade 10, while in the senior high school composed of grade 11 and grade 12. In summary, basic education levels in most ASEAN countries have 12 years of formal schooling, divided into primary, lower, secondary, and upper secondary levels. All primary education levels are compulsory, while some countries, the secondary level is voluntary except the Philippines. So, the third one is the tertiary levels. It is the college which is beyond the basic in all countries. In the ASEAN, it is the ladder of educational system where the student earns a bachelor degree in the teacher education, which is requirement to take a licensure exam. to become a professional teacher. In the Philippines, the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, which is TESDA, provides diploma and forming certificates for lifelong learning. The agency also assists in the implementation of the senior high school technical vocational track. So, as we can see nga, there is kanang TESDA if dili ka maka-take sa college, na ay kanang TESDA nga mag-provide nimo kanang certificate bitaw, like kanang pwede ka mo abroad or kanang gamiton nimo na nga certificate if dili ka makakuha ng degrees sa college. The pre-service teacher gets appropriate qualification degree in the tertiary level in order to teach in either elementary or secondary levels of the education system, in either the public or the private school in a particular country. In addition to the degree, most countries have specific recruitment policies and guidelines. So, tertiary level is the most important level to focus because there is where true battle begins.
Okay, the next topic will be the teacher professionals across the ASEAN. So first is academic preparations of teacher professionals basic education. So first, let me ask you, what is basic education? No one? Okay, so ang basic education diay is encompasses the initial stages of formal schooling, typically including primary and lower secondary education. And it is often considered foundational for further learning. So nag-aim siya to equip individuals with fundamental literacy, numeracy, and essential skills for continued learning and life. The admission, so number one is pre-primary. The admission to pre-service teacher education varies from graduates of grade 9 or grade 12. So ang ganun mga kuan is nag-vary siya sa kuan, sa location, sa kanang kuan, sa lugar, kung asa sila. So ang pre-primary, preschool of kindergarten future teachers can have 9 years of basic education and get advanced training of 3 years teacher preparation. So muna sila ang kuan, kanang requirements sa kanang basic education, kanang pre-service education sa Lao PDR, Myanmar, Indonesia, and Cambodia. Sunod is ang lower secondary. Lower secondary level requirements is 12 years of basic education and 2 years of teacher preparation to earn diploma in teaching. Sunod is ang upper secondary. The requirements of upper secondary is 12 years of basic education plus 4 to 5 years of teacher preparation to earn a bachelor's degree. However, the non-education graduates can take the postgraduate diploma in education or teaching. And it is equivalent to 12 years of basic education plus 4 to 5 years of baccalaureate degree plus 1 year of graduate diploma. So, mao siya sa kanang non-education degree. ASEAN countries can have comparable academic teacher education preparations. However, there are who have gone beyond their borders while others are still strengthening their programs. The second one is the components of teacher preparation. First is general knowledge and understanding. This focus on critical thinking, problem solving, and communication skills. So, mo ni siya ang crucial component sa teacher preparation kay dapat adto nila dapat ma-develop nila ilang mga critical thinking, mga communication skills, and kanang kuan problem solving. Sunod is pedagogy. Pedagogy is a variety of teaching delivery or how to teach. Mao ni siya ang mga kanang pamaagi sa usa ka teacher para nga kuan para unsaon niya pag-teach dapat pud niya nga ma-develop kay para maka-gain siya og respect sa mga estudyante. Then the next one is teaching practicum or experiential learning. So, ang need jud sa kuan sa kanang education is mag-need jud sila nga mukuan sila sa field kay parang makuan sila sa kanang ilahan ng profession nga kuan. It is a requirement. So, requirement siya nga mukuan mo siya sa iyaha mag-need siya og practicum or kanang kuan. Pareha na mag-student teacher sila. In this cluster, knowledge, theories, principles, and pedagogies learned are validated in real-life situations as teachers. It is required as components of training or for certification. So, mao na siya ang kuan sa ako nagibalik-balik is requirement jud ang kining teaching practicum or experiential learning. Kaya para maasa pud ang mga future teachers. Then, the next one is specialized knowledge or major courses. Kung kuan gani, kung secondary ka, na-jud kay kanang kuan, major course nga dapat imong i-focus. For those who will teach the content or disciple in the upper elementary or secondary level major, courses are learned. So, early years, preschool to grade 3, more comprehension, knowledge of child growth, and development is given emphasis. So, ang dapat i-emphasize dyan sa kanang kuan sa mga pre-primary teachers is kato dyan mga kanang kuan pa ba, kanang mga basic nila nga kuan. Dapat nilang i-focus kato mga kanang about sa kuan sa bata. Then, the degree titles, there are degree titles, It is the Bachelor of Education, Bachelor of Secondary Education, Bachelor of Elementary Education, and Diploma in Education, either pre-baccalaureate or postgraduate or PGD. So, the next topic is the teaching profession practices in the ASEAN. The first one is the teacher's major responsibilities. So, mali ang mga major responsibilities sa usa ka teacher. Actual teaching, management of learning, administrative work. So, kung moingon ta og kuan teacher major responsibilities, sumo jud ni ang dapat ang buhaton sa teacher. First is actual teaching. Pareha na to karon nag-actual teaching ta. Kanang kuan ang atong kanang bitaw nag face to face ta og klase. Then it has requirement which is 6 to 8 per hour. 6 to 8 hours per day. Then 40 to 45 hours per week. 4 weeks per month and 10 months per year. Then the next is management of learning. So management of learning, it refers to activities that support the actual teaching. So mo ni siya ang mag-support sa actual teaching, which is katong example na is mag-record siya sa mga activities sa mga bata, go-attend siya og mga meeting, then homework on co-curricular activities. Then administrative work. Administrative work refers to the teacher's job, includes writing, test items, checking, and recording of these papers. So, mali siya ang kanang administrative. Administrative work is kanto to siya mga kuan. Then, ang management of learning, kanang giunsa nimo pag-manage ang ilang learning para na imuha imaha silang gikuan, imaha silang ipa-remedial kung na sila yung mga kuha. Then, let's proceed to the teacher licensing and recruitment. Excuse me. Philippines. So, mali ang mga kanang mga agencies. So, ang Philippines is Professional Regulation Commission. So, and kuan po ang LET or licensure examination for teacher. Dapat jud nga mo undergo ang LET para nga makakuan ka sa teachers as a teacher. Then, in Singapore, National Institute for Education. In Thailand, Teacher Education Council or KURSAPA. Then sa Indonesia is ACTA 4. So, muna siya ang mga recruitment agencies and qualifications. So, ang qualifications are guided by the Ministry of Education for the public schools and individual private schools under the guidance and policies of each country. So, ang kanang kuan is na siya mga lain agencies kanang countries. So, mao na niya ang akong gikaingon. So, in summary, the teacher's professional across the ASEAN is academic preparations of teacher professionals, basic education, components of teacher preparation, which are the general knowledge and understanding, pedagogy, teaching practicum, or experiential learning, specialized knowledge, and major courses. Then, the teaching profession practices in the ASEAN are the teacher's major responsibilities, which are the actual teaching, katong mag-face-to-face ta, then ang management of learning ka na pareha ato nga kung giingon ganina nga, dapat i-manage on how to manage ang ilang learning pareha ato mag-atagong remedya. Then, administrative work, pareha ato mag-hatag siya o mo-attend siya o mga kanang meeting. Mo-attend siya meeting, iyahang i-record ang mga test results. Then, teacher licensing and recruitment, managed sa Philippines, PRC, Singapore, and IEP. Then, the Thailand is Teacher Education Council or KURSAPA din. Ang Indonesia is ang ACTA 4. So, that's all.
Okay, so nasabta naman ang i-discuss ni Ms. Mamalin, di ba? Okay, so next is, let's proceed to the teacher and the teaching profession beyond the ASEAN. So atong gitakol ani is about the teacher, about teaching profession sa 3 countries. Mao ni ang China, Japan, and United States. So these countries were included as samples in the 2013 Global Teachers Status Index. So let's find out what their teaching profession practices are similar to the ASEAN. So first is the China. So China is the most populous country with over 200 million students attending public schools and over 9 million teachers in elementary, secondary, and higher secondary level. So China formed the largest teaching force in the world. So their country is centralized by the Kursay lobby are written in scientists and professors. So ang ilang say lobby kay gisuwat sa mga scientists and kanang mga professor nga gi-hire sa National Education Commission. So the first 6 years of primary school focuses on development of cognitive skills. So sila is nag-focus sa critical thinking, problem solving, and etc. So each classroom in China ranges 40 to 60 students. They're devoted to development of cognitive skills, diba? So there is a new educational system nga gigama ang China. So the first is the 6 years of primary level, 3 years of junior middle school, 3 3 years of senior middle school and 6 years in university. So there are two main types of teachers in China. Mauni ang gungban or ang state paid o ang minban or ang community paid. Ang gungban has a high salary and a permanent job. Once masud na ka sa kanang once masud na ka as a teacher, ang imuhang kuan is permanent na. While ang minban is ang imong salary is nagdepende sa income, community income. So let's proceed to the China's teacher licensing. Examination of secondary teachers is centralized by the central government, while elementary is a responsibility of the province. So, ang China is ang ilang examination for the secondary teachers is kanang gipahiluna sa central government. While ang elementary is province na ang bahala na. So, responsibility sa province ang mga elementary teachers. So, primary teachers should at least graduate sa senior high, secondary schools, while on junior secondary level should at least have a diploma from junior teacher college. Then, ang senior secondary levels should be a graduate from a university and a holder degree from tertiary institution. So, next is Chinese teachers enjoy unquestionable authority. So, why does Chinese teachers enjoy unquestionable authority? Because teachers in China should only tell a single and absolute truth. And student job is to absorb the knowledge conveyed by the teachers without question. So, ang mga teachers sa China is unsa tong naa sa libro mao ray ilahang i-discuss, and even if ang student is naay question, naay pangutana or naay if ang student is naay question or ipangutana, they're not allowed to raise a hand. So, ang job of the student is to absorb the knowledge conveyed by the teachers without question. While some subjects like math and English, students need to participate. Need sila mo participate sa, for example, like sa math, need mo participate ng students. If tawagan sila sa teachers, need sila mo participate or mo answer sa problem nga gi-write sa board. Chinese have only 45 minutes class periods, and kanang 45 minutes nga class nila is dili sila pwede mo storya or even raise a question. So, because of their way of teaching, because sa pamaagi sa teaching sa China, they rank number 1 sa global teacher status index. So, next is, ang ikaduha is ang Japan. The Japanese education is highly centralized by the Mongbosho or the Ministry of Education. So, if ang China is decentralized sa katong higher education, ang Japan sa centralized sa Ministry of Education. So, over 24 million students from kinder through university ang naa sa public school. 10% sa universities, 1/3 sa private schools, and the rest is naa sa public school. So, Japan's education and free and compulsory. So, ang Japan education DI is compulsory for children aged to 6 years old So Japan's teaching method is lecture. So ang gigamit na teaching method sa Japan is lecture ra jud. Same sa Philippines. So Japanese educational system is divided into 5 levels. So mo ni ang kindergarten, elementary 6 years, nagedad og 6 years, lower secondary 13 years old, upper secondary, Japanese educational system is divided into 5 levels. Mani ang kindergarten, elementary from grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 6 years siya. Ang lower secondary, 3 years, grade 7, grade 8, o grade 9. Ang upper secondary, 3 years sad. Ang grade 10, grade 11, o grade 12. Ondiya ang universities mo, 4 years sad. So same ra sad sa ato ang first year college, second year, third year, and fourth year college. So their class size is 38 per room ra na for 50 minutes per period. So mas labaw na ang Japan og 5 minutes sa China kay nagkuan sila og 45 minutes. Next, so let's proceed to the teaching profession in Japan. Teacher has a major role and responsibilities in the students. So, tinuod man jud diba nga ang teacher is naay major role and responsibilities para sa mga estudyante. Because they're the one nga mo teach sa students o mga values, mga right attitudes, and lain pa. So, they have the power to teach students the moral education and moral development, instilling values, attitude, and more. So, according sa GTSI, second ang Japan sa naay pinaka-big nga salary kay ang first is ang Singapore man. So, ang Japan is so their salary is $43,775. So, next is the certification in Japan. So, certification in Japan, there are different requirements you need to pass para mahimuhang qualified teacher sa Japan. So, these are the first class certificate and second class certificate. So, ang first class certificate can teach elementary and secondary levels with qualification of having a bachelor's degree. So, ang second certificate is ang qualification pud ani kay 2 years of study in a university. In an upper secondary, you are qualified to teach if you have master's degree. If wala kay master's degree, you need to have a second class certificate. So next is becoming employed as a teacher. So most of the public school teachers are prefectural employees even if they teach in municipal schools. So examination to become professional teachers in Japan. So it was divided in 2 stages. Mauni ang first stages na consist of you need to take our written exams in general education, PE, arts, and music. So, ang second stage type is na-consist siya of interviews. In Japan, age is very important. Applicants must under 30 years old. So, if ganahan ka nga mahimong teacher sa Japan, dapat ang imong edad is dili mo taas sa 30 years old. So, teachers are rotated from one school to another. So, balik 5 years sa ang kuan. Same sa principal sa ato need sila nga magbalhin-balhin bitaw og school. So, naray pila ka years nga gihatag nila para moadto na pud sila sa lain nga school. So, next is the United States of America America that will be discussed by Miss Chin. Thank you.
Good afternoon, class. Our topic for today is all about United States of America. So, United States of America, sila ang first teacher nga gitawag og Thomasites. Next is basic education, the avenue for teaching job in USA. The levels of education in the USA are similar to those in other countries, including the Philippines. First, pre-primary education. The type of school providing this education are kindergarten, nursery schools, preschool programs, child or daycare centers. And the age level is 4 to 6 years old and the duration is 2 years. Primary education, which is ang elementary school. Next is middle school education. Starts with grades 4 to 6, 5 to 7, or 6 to 8. And next is secondary education, which is the high school grades starts with 7 to 12 or 8 to 12. And junior high school grades 7 to 8, 7 to 9. And then senior high school grade starts with 9 to 12 or 10 to 12. The duration of compulsory education is from entry of 6 years old to exit of 18 years old. Next is becoming a professional teacher. Pre-service students who are preparing to teach in any of the above grade levels have to attend a college or a university for 4 years, major or minor in education, and earn a teaching certificate. So first, you need to earn a bachelor's degree, usually in education or specific subject areas like math or science. Complete a teacher preparation program. This includes coursework and student teaching experience. And you need to pass required exam to test knowledge and teaching skills. After that, you may apply for the state certification. Each state has its own licensing requirements nga gustong applyan nimo as a teacher. And continue professional development, so the teachers often take ongoing training to maintain or upgrade their license. Next is earning teaching certificates. United States of America has a decentralized education system, and each state education agency has its own guidelines and requirements for earning and maintaining a teaching certificate. So, ang unang buhaton nga na is, you need to complete a bachelor's degree, usually in education or related field. Finish a teacher preparation program, includes training and practice teaching. Pass certification exams like state-specific tests, and apply for a teaching license to submit requirements to the State Education Department. Kasagaran nga ni is, sa mga laing states, nag-require jud sila og background checks and continuing education for renewal. For example, Maria wants to become a certified elementary school teacher in Texas. Ang iyang gibuhat is she earns first a bachelor's degree in elementary education, and then she completes a teacher preparations program that includes student teaching in a local school. She passes also the required Texas exams, and after that she applies for a Texas teaching certificate through the Texas Education Agency. After that, she gets approved and starts teaching in a public school. And now Maria is a certified teacher in Texas. Next is recruitment of teachers. After following the successful completion of an application process, a superintendent approves the applicant and then forwards a recommendation to hire the local school board. So, for example, a school district in California needs a teachers. And the district posts jobs ads on the websites and education job boards. The applicants submit their resumes, teaching certificates, and resources. The school reviews applicants and invites selected candidates for interviews. After interviews, the district hires the most qualified teachers. The new teachers are onboarded and begin teaching in the new school year. So this is a typical example of how teacher recruitment works in many U.S. school system. Next is salaries of teachers. The salary range for teachers is determined by education and experience as by local. For example of salaries of teachers, Miss Eunice is a elementary teacher in New York. As a new teacher, he started with a salary of $48,000 per year. Since kay bag-o pa man siya. After 5 years of experience and earning master's degree, his salary increased to $65,000. With 10 plus years and additional certifications, he now earns around $80,000 annually. So shows how teacher salaries can grow with experience and education. Next is, what makes a good American teacher? So, when we say good American teacher, unsa may masud sa imong hunahuna? Charlene, what can you say about good American teacher? Okay, very good. So a good American teacher needs a strong knowledge of the subject they teach and good communication skills to explain ideas clearly. And she also needs patience and empathy to understand students' needs, because students needs a teacher's attention and focus the children to guide what they need. And also the classroom management to create a positive learning environment, and the commitment to student success and ongoing professional growth. As what I have said earlier, the students need the full support and guidance of teachers. So, the teacher, they inspire, motivate, and help students reach their full potential.
The Global Teacher Status Index in 2013. In 2013, the Varkey James Foundation was conducted the first ever Global Teacher Status Index. The study polled 21 countries all over the world that include Brazil, China, Czech Republic, Egypt, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Israel, Italy, Japan, Netherlands, New Zealand, Portugal, Turkey, Singapore, South Korea, Spain, Switzerland, United Kingdom, and United States of America. These countries were chosen on their performance in PISA and teams to represent the major continent of the world. Teacher status. Teacher status is a status of a teacher in different countries. The next is the social status. Social status of teachers. Contextual understanding of teacher status was done by ranking teaching alongside other professions in the country. As you can see in your screen, these are the countries. As 2/3 of these countries judge the status of teachers to be most similar to social workers. These countries believe or understand that the status or a work of a teacher is really similar to social workers. However, to determine the social standing of the teaching profession in the order of how they are respected, the result is there is a higher regard of teachers, the social standing of elementary school teachers than in the secondary school teachers, and head teachers against 14 other occupation included. What is social workers? Anyone from the class? Okay, Miss Anyana? Okay, very good. Social workers are professionals who aim to enhance the overall well-being and help to meet the communities and the people. USA, Brazil, France, Turkey believes that the second closest status was the librarian. What is librarian? Okay, Miss Lasco? Okay, very good. Librarian is the person who works on library of course, and they are who's responsible for overseeing the daily operation as a library. Okay, next country is New Zealand. People think that the job of teaching is the most similar to nursing because teachers provide services to the student that will surely give great impact to the student's life. Next, China, the only one country that thinks of teachers as being most closely compared to doctors because they believe that teachers is a skilled professional doing one of the most important job in the society. The Barkey Foundation Global Teacher Status Index showed in the ranking that only China did people see teachers as having equal status with the doctors. Teaching sought after profession. When parents were asked if they encourage their children to become teachers, 50% of parents in China provide positive encouragement for child to become teachers. China is joined by South Korea, Turkey, and Egypt, while parents in Israel, Portugal, and Brazil, and Japan are less likely to encourage their children to become teachers. Pupil respect for teachers. Parents were asked to respond whether they believe that their teachers is respected by their pupil. In China, 75% of the respondents believe that students respect their teachers compared to only 27 average per countries. Teaching is a deemed noble profession. That's why in China, teaching is one of the most respected profession in the world, in which respecting teachers and valuing education has been in a fundamental social norms in China. There an old saying says, teacher for a day is a mentor for life. That's why students respect their teachers. Second is perception of teachers' reward. Below is the average actual teacher salary in countries surveyed. The first country is the China. The actual average salary in China per year is $17,730. Then the Greece is $23,341 US dollar. The Turkey is 25,378 US dollar. South Korea is $43,874. New Zealand is 28,438 US dollar. Egypt is 10,604 US dollar. Singapore is 45,755 dollar. Netherlands is 37,218 US dollar. USA is 44,917 US dollar. UK is 33,377 dollar. France is 28,828 dollar. Spain is 29,475. Finland is 28,780. Portugal is 23,614 US dollar. Switzerland is 39,326 US dollar. Germany is 42,254 US dollar. Japan is 43,775 US dollar. Italy is 28,603 US dollar. Czech Republic is 19,953 dollar. Brazil is 18,550 US dollar, and Israel is 32,444 dollar. Most countries judge a fair rate of pay as a similar to teachers' actual pay. In Japan, France, and USA, the actual pay was judged higher than the fair rate of salary. Majority of the countries think teachers ought to be rewarded with higher pay than what they are presently getting. Performance-related pay, or PPT. Most countries believes that teacher's salary should be based on the achieved students' learning outcomes. The performance-related pay or should be used according to performance. A lot of countries in the world also believe that when the students learn more, teachers deserve to receive a higher pay in which the amount of her salary is based on the student performance, like the achievement of the students, and also the percentage of the students learning in students learning. As you as a teacher has a lot of students who failed in your class, it only means that you're not an effective teachers, or you're not an effective teachers, or you don't distribute, or you don't deserve to has a higher reward. You don't distribute, or you don't distribute to has a higher pay reward. The third is the teacher agency and control. The status of teachers is also dependent on the people trust to deliver good education. Trusting teachers to deliver education. Trusting teachers to deliver education. Based on the result of the survey, no countries give a rating below 5, suggesting that all countries place satisfactory to positive trust in their teachers. Finland and Brazil at the top of the table, displaying strong trust in their teachers, while Israel, Japan, South Korea, and Egypt are the bottom of the table, showing limited trust for their teachers. The Varkey James Foundation of VGF Index will be immensely valuable as a means of stimulating debate on education reform, just as the publication of PISA data did at the turn of the country. Peter Dalton is a professor of economics at Sussex University, one of the writers of the 2013 Global Teacher Status Index. Peter Dalton said that we find that there are major differences across countries in the way teachers are perceived by the public. This informs who decides to become a teachers in each country, as they are respected, and how they are financially rewarded. Ultimately, this affects the kind of job they do in teaching our children. And the second is the Sunny Varkey. Sunny Varkey is a founder and trustee of Varkey James Foundation. Sunny Varkey said It is my ambition that teachers are treated with a much respect as a doctors. Sadly, in many countries around the world, teachers no longer retain the elevated status that we used to take for granted. Over time, the decline in respect for teachers will weaken teaching, weaken learning, damage learning opportunities for millions, and ultimately weaken societies around the world. He also said that it is with immense pride that I say that my parents were teachers. I recently spoke with my mother about what she believes they had achieved by becoming teachers. She spoke fondly about the goodwill that they enjoy locally as a result of their chosen vocation. Those who thought were healed is high esteem. Teachers were often the most educated people in the community, so were turned to as a source of advice and guidance. Most importantly, of course, they sparked the imagination of children who went to accomplish great things for themselves and society. Okay, nakasabot ra ba? Okay, Miss Marikit, what is unsa ganito ang teacher status? Okay, very good. Next, Miss Kahis, what is teaching set after profession? Okay, very good. Okay, that's all for today.
So now that we're done discussing our topic for today, let's have a group activity. So I will divide you into 3 groups and each group will have an assigned task to do. I will give you 5 minutes to answer it. Group 1, what are the different ways of teaching in Asian countries? Group 2, what are the different ways of teaching in other countries except the Asian countries? Group 3, state the similarities of Asian and other countries. Am I understood? Okay, thank you. So I have here a short assessment to know if you really understand our discussion. So directions. In a 1/4 sheet of paper, examine the details provided to identify the correct answer. So all you need to do is to identify the correct answer of these questions. So I will give you 5 minutes to answer it, and after 5 minutes, I will collect your paper because I will be the one to check it. Am I understood? Okay, start answering now. So for your assignment, I want you to read and review the next lesson to understand the concept and take notes of the important points because we'll have a quiz next meeting.